How's it going, mate?
It's going pretty good, actually. I watched this yesterday and had a lot of fun with it. Roland
Good.
definitely knows how to make disaster porn.
He certainly does. He certainly does. He's the master of it. You very rarely in your career get to work with true experts in their field, but when it comes to disaster movies, Roland's top of that tree, and what a thrill to get to make this movie with him.
I'm actually very curious. What do you think it is about why audiences love watching end of the world TV shows and end of the world movies?
I think it's because it in a strange kind of way it gives them an enhanced appreciation for real life. Do you know that thing of when you have a nightmare and you wake up and you're panicked, but then suddenly you realize that it wasn't real and you're back in the real world, and there's that sense of relief to it. I think that there's something to that. You go to the theater, you lock into this concept that the world's ending, and you come out and everything's still there. So it's like you allow yourself to believe it just to get the relief of it not being true.
This is your first big budget Hollywood movie where you're one of the leads. I'm just curious, what was it like? What was it like versus what you expected going in?
Well, coming out of something like Game of Thrones, which I was in for a decade, the main difference between that and this, even though Game of Thrones was a big budget thing and world famous and all that kind of stuff, there were so many people in that. The cast was so huge. We sort of divided up the pressure between us, and nobody necessarily felt too pressurized because we knew there were so many other actors in it who would take the reins from us at any point. But being in this with such a small central cast, it's a big movie, small cast to it, just myself, Patrick, and Halle in our little subplot for all that time. Just slightly more pressure, really. Just more pressure. The idea that I don't have many other castmates to hide behind. I'm sort of at the center of it with these two other wonderful actors. And yeah, I just felt more central to things. And that's a great honor and a great privilege, but a greater sense of pressure comes from that too. There's more responsibility on your shoulders to tell this story than there ever has been before for me.
I don't want to dwell on Game of Thrones. I just want to thank you for your work on the show because I really enjoyed it. But saying that, I really did want the Night King to win it all. I did. I was hoping we were watching the end of a civilization not able to work together, and like the Night King was going to win, and it's because no one was willing to work together. But that was my secret dream.
You know what? That's quite a Game of Thronesy ending,
Yes.
that really, isn't it? Yeah, they say what you like about that show. They never really took the easy route out, and even if some of the decisions they made were controversial, I don't think that many people would have guessed what that was going to be. I don't think.
Yeah, I listen. They were constantly always making me say "Holy f" all the time. But anyway, so thank you for your work on that. I am curious. Does it ever get easier to pretend to see something in the horizon, or is it sort of just like you know what I mean? Because you're reacting to the superstructure. It's clearly not there.
Yeah, it's something that when I talk to my pals about making this kind of movie, and they're not actors, it's the one thing about it that they find most impressive, reacting to something that's not really there. But the thing is, you can do that really easy when you're a kid. When you're 5 years old, you can imagine that you're in space when you're just in your own front room, and you can just see your own couch. Your own couch can become a spaceship really easily when you're 5. So it's not about learning how to do it. It's about getting in touch with a childlike, imaginative side of yourself that's laying sort of dormant, really. Getting rid of the self-consciousness and the sense of embarrassment about it, and just committing to it in a way that you very rarely get the chance to do as a grown-up. Something a little bit of contacting a childlike side of yourself makes it a lot easier.
Did you enjoy filming the anti-gravity, like the in-space anti-gravity stuff? Or were you like, oh, this is really challenging?
No, it was fine. It was a challenge, but before we started shooting it, we had some consultations with actual astronauts who gave us a key to it. And the main key to it that we had was get this idea out of your head that your legs are your main source of movement around. Because when you're in space, your legs do absolutely nothing. It's your arms that guide you. So you take the focus of the movement away from the lower half of your body and put it on the top of your body, on your arms and shoulders. And once you get that into your mind, it becomes quite easy to sort of navigate your way around even a compact space like that.
I have to ask, so obviously this is one of these films where the VFX really matter, and because it pulls it all together. So what was your reaction watching the third act and seeing how Roland had built the superstructure and everything that was going to be happening?
Well, that was tricky on the day because, we're talking about VFX stuff that we've done before. I mean, we have no frame of reference when it comes to the inside of the moon. Like Roland completely got carte blanche to design whatever he wanted as far as the inside of the moon's concerned. So when we were trying to imagine it, looking out the window from a VFX point of view, we tried to imagine what it might be like, but we were probably, myself, Halle, and Patrick, all imagining completely different things. But when we saw it, we realized just what an imagination it takes to bring something like that into life and realize it. And the design for the inside of the moon was more than ever I could have possibly imagined, and that's why Roland was in charge and not me.
Before I run out of time, which is about to happen, I'm really looking forward to the 3-body problem, and I'm just curious, what can you tease about it? And because it sounds very cool.
It's very, very cool. It's I finished the books just before Christmas, and what I will say about it is David and Dan haven't taken the easy route out with this. There are elements of this, the ambition of this, that makes even Game of Thrones look like fairly safe ground. It's the ambition, the scope of it, the sheer size of it. It's gonna break a whole new set of rules all over again, I think.
Is it a 3-episode series? Is it like, I don't actually know what the length and what it exactly is.
It's a full series. It's a full run of a Netflix series. It's not a mini series and it's not a movie. It's we're getting information about it all the time, and the way TV works, you're never sure how long you're going to go for. You're never sure what the scope of this is going to be going forward. But working on this season of it, it's a Netflix series.
So it's like 8 or 10 episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, listen, I got to stop there. I'm just going to say I am really looking forward to that. And I really, again, thank you for your work and great talking with you.
Great to talk to you too, mate. Thanks very much.